what's going on, guys? It's Cynical and welcome back to another Kingdom Hearts 3 video. Today for you guys, I thought we'd sit down and take a look at Magic Form. This is the form that we've actually become most familiar with over the course of the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers that we've received, over the various amount of different years that we've been waiting for this game. This is the form that actually contains the double arrow guns as well as the magic launcher, as it's now called. And finally, these transformations actually now have a form which is actually referred to that of Magic Form. I'm sure as of right now this is probably just a tentative name, and that when we finally do get Kingdom Hearts 3 forms like Magic Form as well as Power Form, we'll actually have a proper name. Now within the most recent D23 trailer, we actually got an updated look at Magic Form. These Keyblade transformations now have their very own specific outfit, which is a blue-based outfit, similar to that of, say, Wisdom Form. So in a sense, you could kind of say that this form is Kingdom Hearts 3's equivalent to that of Wisdom Form from Kingdom Hearts 2. Specifically looking at the double arrow guns, the way in which this Keyblade transformation works has actually slightly changed over the years. I thought it'd be kind of interesting to sit down and look at the evolution of the double arrow guns and the way that they've kind of changed. But not only that, I also wanted to break down the actual overall mechanics of this form and to kind of grasp a concept as to how this form works. If we turn the pages back to 2013, this is where we actually got our first glimpse of actual Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay, but on top of that, our first glimpse at this new mechanic known as Keyblade transformations. The first transformation that we actually ever saw was known as the two-shoot blaster. This was actually the original name for that of the double arrow guns. Now the actual clip of the gameplay is very short of the two-shoot blaster, but it shows very different gameplay to what we're seeing current days. In this gameplay sequence, we can see Sora shooting fireballs opposed to that of just basic magic projectiles. Now in one sense, you might think that this was actually the original way this transformation was actually meant to work. However though, what I'm thinking is, we do know that forms and Keyblade transformations can indeed still use magic. And depending on what form or Keyblade transformation you're using at that current time, the way in which magic is going to be used will be used differently. So perhaps maybe this scene right here is actually showing us the double arrow guns, but just simply using fire. In 2015, we got our next slice of Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay, and this time around, we got an updated look at the double arrow guns, and once again, they appeared to be working differently. Now, opposed to Sora spinning around the place and shooting fireballs left, right, and center, this time around, the gameplay shows us Sora bringing up a reticle where he can sort of aim and accurately shoot at enemies on screen, almost giving us a sense of third-person shooter action. We also got our first look at the double arrow gun's second transformation, and that being the magic launcher, which once again, within the 2015 trailer, appears to work differently compared to what we're seeing in the most recent D23 2017 trailer. In the 2015 trailer, when Sora's using the magic launcher, similar to the way that the double arrow guns are working in this trailer as well, we see a reticle being brought up on screen. At first, Sora performs what looks to be a massive special attack, which shoots a magic projectile into the air and then splits off into multiple mini projectiles. After that, he floats back to the ground, but while doing so, continues to shoot two more projectiles. So the gameplay that we're seeing in the 2017 trailer is different. So first things first, let's start off with the double arrow guns. Now what we were seeing in the 2015 trailer was Sora bringing up a reticle, and we could literally aim whereabouts we wanted to shoot the projectiles. This time around in the 2017 trailer, Sora summons the guns and then literally floats around. Keep this in mind, he's floating around, sort of like Wisdom Form in a sense, not actually running. You guys will also notice the different amounts of auto lock-on reticles, so it would appear to be that we can actually shoot multiple different enemies all at once while using the double arrow guns, which I can imagine will come in super handy. Now I've also seen some people saying that the projectiles that we've seen the double arrow guns shoot, which are quite literally arrows coming out of the guns, are actually different to the projectiles that Sora was shooting out of the guns within the E3 2015 trailer, but this is actually not the case. If you pay close attention to the projectiles that are being shot out of the dual guns within the E3 2015 trailer, they still are arrows. I guess you could just say it's because of the perspective of the camera within the E3 2015 trailer, it's kind of hard to depict, exactly what those projectiles look like. The bullets have not changed, they have been arrows since 2015. Now the combo in which Sora performs while using the double arrow guns is quite interesting. At first, he's just shooting out a bunch of normal based arrows, but then for the combo finisher, he sends out a bunch of these sort of orangey yellow arrows that actually home in at a faster speed on enemies. Shortly afterwards, we then see Sora Sora activate the magic launcher and he gets straight into combat by using the magic launcher to smack enemies. So yeah, it's interesting that we can actually perform melee-based attacks with the magic launcher. Now, I actually have seen a lot of people saying that, oh, this is kind of a new thing, you know, we haven't actually seen the magic launcher really being used in the sense of melee-based attacks. But if you guys remember back to the Jump Festa, I believe it was, the Jump Festa 2015 trailer for Kingdom Hearts 2.8, at the start of that trailer, we actually got a very small sort of, I would say 30-second snippet of some new Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay. And within that gameplay sequence, we actually saw Sora using the magic launcher, but in a melee sense. So yeah, this isn't the first time we've actually seen the magic launcher being used in a melee sense. After Sora's finished bashing enemies over the head with the big cannon, he then performs what looks to be a special attack. But what's interesting about this is this special attack seems to be different, very different, to that of the special attack that we see Sora using with the magic launcher in the E3 2015 trailer. Now, this special attack actually shoots the end of the launcher out, and that in a way sort of acts as a bomb. When it finally lands, it then explodes, which I presume damages all enemies surrounding Sora. It looks like a very, very big blast radius. Going back to the E3 2015 trailer, that special attack actually split into multiple projectiles, and so it's very different to what we're seeing here in the D23 trailer. Now, this could mean a number of different things. Perhaps these two different abilities that we're seeing in these different trailers are just maybe different abilities that we can actually use while using the magic launcher. Maybe one special ability is something that you unlock at a certain point and the other one is something you unlock at a different point. Or maybe Square Enix just decided to scrap the original idea on the special ability for the magic launcher and replace it with what we're seeing in the D23 trailer. However, if this special ability that we're seeing in the D23 trailer is the new one that was replaced by the sort of one that, you know, splits into multiple magic projectiles, I'm a little sad. Honestly, I kind of like the look of the original special ability a little bit better. Now, we still don't really have a complete understanding as to how Keyblade transformations and forms are going to work in Kingdom Hearts 3, and if or not there's actually going to be a certain amount of customization revolving around this mechanic. Now, if there is, perhaps maybe Square Enix are thinking of some sort of a way to implement a customization system where we can actually switch out different abilities for different forms. Perhaps maybe for like every single Keyblade transformation in the game or every form, there are certain different special abilities that you can toggle on and off. In the past, Square Enix have actually talked about possibly introducing Keyblade levels, and I mean, whether or not this is still an idea that is going to be implemented in the game or not, who exactly knows. But let's say there are Keyblade levels, maybe the further you level up your Keyblade, the more abilities you can actually unlock for the Keyblade transformation that corresponds to that Keyblade. Otherwise, if this isn't the case, then it comes down to Square Enix just scrapping the original special ability and replacing it with what we're seeing here in the D23 trailer. Now, when looking at the aiming mode that we saw within the 2015 trailer, it makes me think that perhaps when we actually use the dual arrow guns as well as the magic launcher, there's actually a button that we can use to aim. So for instance, if we hold down something like L2, it'll then put us into this aiming mode. From there, we can actually accurately shoot with both of these transformations. I don't think this was the original concept behind how this transformation worked. More so, this is actually part of how you use it. If you want to just freely move around and shoot left, right, and center, then you can do that like we saw within the D23 trailer, but if you want more accurate, precise shots, then use aiming mode. Now, do not quote me on this is only what I'm taking from both of the trailers, but with actually having gun transformations, it does actually make sense to have something like an aiming mode available. Some other quick information about magic form. The first thing is, it appears like you can actually combo the Blizzard rail grind with athletic flow to then jump into the air and rain down on your enemies below with the dual arrow guns. Now, this is from a trailer standpoint, so it's not exactly too clear as to how exactly you would pull this off within actual gameplay. It would also appear like there is a special aerial combo for the dual arrow guns as well. This scene right here is out of the small 30-second snippet of Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay that we got from the Jump Festa 2.8 trailer back in 2015. And within that same 30 seconds of gameplay, we also see Sora perform the melee-based combo with the magic launcher, and at the end of that combo, for a combo finisher, Sora actually shoots a projectile out of the magic launcher. It looks like it gets shot randomly, but I guess like if you're locked onto something, that shot will make contact with the enemy. So it would seem like using the melee-based attacks with the magic launcher will be pretty strong. But now guys, that's all the news and information for today. Just thought I'd sit down and break down magic form. It's looking like an absolutely fantastic form. Hopefully this has given you guys a certain understanding around this form. I find it very, very interesting, and I do indeed hope that this this whole aiming mode is going to be a mechanic part of this transformation. However guys, I've been Cynical, hopefully you're having a fantastic day, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.